Hello. Today we have another few learning gems, Divrei Torah from Wisdom and Wit by Rabbi Shmuel Himmelstein. Himmelstein. I'll show you the book in a minute about learning Torah. Let's take it right now. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this one. Filling one's belly with Torah. Why is it, asked the Kotzker. The Kotzker was a Rebbe. Why is it, asked the Kotzker, that a Torah scholar is referred to by Chazal, by the rabbis, as one whose belly is filled with Torah? Wouldn't it be more appropriate to say that such a person is one whose head is filled with Torah? The answer to this question is that just as a person whose belly is filled one day still finds himself hungry the next day, a true Torah scholar is a person who has a tremendous appetite each day to study more and more Torah. So in other words, they say his belly is filled with Torah, not because every day one has an appetite, one has to eat. The next day, so the same way, a true Torah scholar is one who's every day has the same appetite to learn more and more Torah. Let's take another look. Now we have an interesting vart. This is from the Chavetz Chaim. This is a booklet they made for the Chavetz Chaim. This is available, daily lessons in the power of giving, based on the Chavetz Chaim's Ahavas Chesed. Anyway, this is a thing that happened with the Chavetz Chaim. The Chavetz Chaim, meat eaters. The Chavetz Chaim once remarked to someone, "Do you think I would have managed to write my Mishnah Brura if I had eaten meat every day?" In other words, he would have meat on Shabbos or once a week or twice a week even, but not every day. In other words, he would make do with whatever there was, some vegetables, some bread with butter, or whatever it is that he would have. He would not. He didn't make a big deal about eating. So that's a very interesting thing. You would think I would have managed to write my Mishnah Brura if I had eaten meat every day. In other words, the eating was not the ikar. It was not the main thing. It was very secondary. Here, this is another thing about the Chavetz Chaim, learning Bava Kama. Bava Kama has to do with damages and paying back someone. There's Bava Kama, Bava Metzia, and Bava Basra. They have to do with liabilities and things like that, about property and all those things. Anyway, the Chavetz Chaim remarked, if a person learned the tractate Bava Kama and did not learn to close the window so that a stray wind does not accidentally cause the window to slam into another person's face, that is proof that he did not learn the tractate in order to observe its laws. In other words, they must have had windows at that point, maybe windows like shutter windows that would go sideways or something. So in other words, if a wind would come, it would come and blow, and it might hit a person in the face. So he said that, in other words, you have to learn what you're learning, Bava Kama, the tractate having to do with damages and taking care not to hurt another person. You have to really learn it in order to observe it. And so the Chavetz Chaim said, if a person learned the tractate Bava Kama and did not learn to close the window so that a stray wind does not accidentally cause the window to slam into another person's face, that is proof that he did not learn the tractate in order to observe its laws. In other words, one should learn whatever one is learning to observe its laws, not just to learn it per se. So that's what the Chofetz Chaim said. Of course, it's very good to learn anytime, anyway. Of course, Look at this. This is beautiful. The importance of 5 minutes. In the Kelme Beis HaTalmud, a special daily learning session of 5 minutes was instituted, in which all the students would convene for exactly 5 minutes of Torah study. This was done to impress upon the students the importance of even a few minutes of Torah study. In other words, don't think, I can't learn for a half an hour, so what's the good of it? If one learns even for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, that's very good, very important. This is beautiful. It's very beautiful. The importance of 5 minutes. In the Kelme Beis HaTalmud, a special daily learning session of 5 minutes was instituted, in which all the students would convene for exactly 5 minutes of Torah study. This was done to impress upon the students the importance of even a few minutes of Torah study. That's very good. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. And thank you very much again. Here, this is the Chofetz Chaim, Loving Kindness. This is a sefer that every day it goes according to the day 1, day 2. There's various lessons. And this book we read from here, Wisdom and Wit, Shmuel Himmelstein, Wisdom and Wit, a sparkling treasury of Jewish anecdotes and advice by Reb Shmuel Himmelstein. Thank you very much. Be well. Seid gesund.